Turn left onto Columbia Avenue. Then turn left. Turn left onto Cathedral Street. In a quarter mile, turn right onto Inkster Road. In 2.7 miles, turn right onto 5 Mile Road.
Hey.
Yo, what's going on?
Not much.
Boy, they didn't expect to see him out. I had already picked my cones up.
What is he up to?
I think he's probably going to the yard, but it seems like he's been kind of cruising through some of these segments and checking on stuff and looking at crews, like as he's like going through Detroit.
Right.
So he was just kind of asking me like if there's anything I need, just to let him know. He's like, if you need somebody to work a Saturday, Andrew will work Saturdays. He's like, I don't know about the other guys. I'm like, right now I think we're good. I go, my biggest issue is just not having the guys out here. Like when we have all this, scattered work for consumers and scattered work for DT and Motor City, like that stuff's way up north, and then we got stuff down here. So it's like if we get, if Andrew gets pulled off, like I told him that I kind of wanted him to be like my right-hand guy for like before pictures and walking streets and stuff like that. So he's like, I'll try and do better about not pulling him in different directions. He's like, if you need more help, he's like, we can get Kyle out here. I don't know if he's talking about Kyle from The Office, but he's like, we can get somebody else out here. He's like, if they have to work Saturdays, let me know. He's like, where are your hours at right now? I'm like, I'm like every week between like 50 and 55. He's like, okay. So. But he told me I was doing a good job.
Oh.
I know.
You got.
But he did say, he goes, that Mike Moore guy, man, he is lazy. Looking around.
You got an attaboy. That's so nice.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with how frustrating this gets at times, like, stuff like that is necessary. Like, they need to tell us, like,
Yeah, now we're doing a good
oh,
job.
we know we throw a lot of shit at you guys, but, you know, it's nice to hear them say, you know, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
So. So, and then I told him that I had one walk with one walker and then like 6 walks with another. He was like, whoa, 7 walks? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, will that give you caught up, or do you still have more?
If I do all 7 today, that'll be everything I have. Because I did 4 the other day with Steve, and then I did 3 yesterday. And really, we did 3 on Stopel, and there was still 1 more, but Keisha was freezing. I was just annoyed by how it destroyed the DT, how bad DT destroyed those streets. I was like, she's like, I don't want, we'll do that last one tomorrow. I'm like, that's fine. I'm looking over the segment. Like,
Yeah.
they just, it's one of those streets where they just, there's a ton of vacant houses. They obviously didn't take their time or like any care for quality on that street. So.
Right. It's where the street, you can't, hard to tell where they actually worked, and the rest of the sidewalk's all tortoise shit anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there were houses that were demoed. Like there was one house that was demoed, and there was dirt everywhere. You could see a little bit of cold patch like underneath, but like all the sidewalk in front of the house was destroyed, like covered in crap.
Yeah.
So like those ones you can't really do anything. There's a bunch of water department stuff that we were unsure about. Like the pre-existing sidewalk was terrible. She's like, oh, they're gonna come back and look at this street because she's like, there's, you know, there were some where it's like, I'm like, there's nowhere that I can tie into that is gonna work. So like I had to take like huge stretches of sidewalk on certain addresses.
Right.
So
Yeah. Those are the worst.
yeah, so that one was fucking terrible.
Is the other section the same?
What's that?
The other section of Norborn, is that the same? Or Norborn?
Oh, it's a Stopel.
Stopel, yeah.
I only glanced like when we were, you know, switching to the other side. Like I know there's an ADA corner at the beginning of it, and it looks like it's still all torn up, but at least it's only 1 more block of it. It's not 3.
Alright.
So,
What about
but yeah,
those? What about those
What?
other ones? Are they gonna be as bad or no?
there are 3 on Monica, which is a couple streets over, which is kind of by like where Santa Rosa, where we did.
Yep.
And that one doesn't look as terribly bad. But then there's 2 on Elmhurst that I'm not even sure about. Like, though that's like a cross street running over there, so that one could be bad. And then 1 on Prevost with Phil that I haven't even driven by it yet, so I'll find out at 9 when I get there.
Yeah, it's,
So we'll see.
I'm driving.
Stopel's probably Stopel's probably the worst of all of them.
I'm driving to these scatter jobs, and I'm just driving by all kinds of areas that are tore up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know if we're going to be getting a lot more, or somebody else is, but there's still a lot more work out here in Redford.
Is that where you're at right now, is Redford?
Yeah. Yeah, there's like 4 more in Redford to do, and I think 5 more over in Detroit, over where Dylan was yesterday.
Yeah, I looked at where he was, like,
Still there?
yeah, I'm still here. I'm just looking at what the heck. Looking at what all these messages are that I have. So it looks like Manny's going to be with those guys today, and then probably somebody else tomorrow. I'm going to tell him to have Dylan do it.
Okay.
So,
Alright. Hopefully I can get these finished up fairly quick, and then I guess I'll start on that, trying to finish up that consumed Motor City stuff.
Well, and that's what he said too. I mean, I don't know if you want to try and work through some audits. I don't know how backed up we're getting on those. Because when I just talked to Ryan, I'm like, we got Motor City, we got consumers. He's like, that Motor City can kind of be pushed off, you know,
Okay.
to the lower priority of, you know, all the stuff.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I don't know if you want to work through some audits and then maybe hit some of those Motor Cities later in the day.
yeah, I mean, I could try that. I could
It's
do
up to you. If you want to just knock that stuff out, that's fine.
No, I mean, if he says it's not a priority, it's not a priority. I won't do it. But it usually means that when it's not a priority, it just doesn't get done.
Exactly. So I just try. I also want to try and get some audits done.
Yeah.
Like after I walk today, I want to try and do some of these streets that Edgar's closed out, just because I don't want to get to a point where Nick's like, "Why haven't you guys been auditing?" Well,
Yeah.
you know, Dylan has a half a day. You know, Andrew's, you know, it's just Danny shadowing your crew. It's like it's hard to get everything else done and prioritize